nice chat. Got it.
Got it.
Понятно, got it. Okay. I believe the translation has started. So the delay is around 30 to 40 minutes. So that's why when people will send questions, we'll see it like not straight away, but in a couple moments.
In seconds.
Yeah, several seconds, I would say.
30 to 40 seconds, right?
Sorry?
30 to 40 seconds?
Yeah, 30.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I think the translation has already started. Let me check with Anne again.
Все в эфире.
Everything good. Okay. Hi, everyone. Hope you're all doing great. And thank you so much for gathering for the webinar and for waiting for several minutes for us to start. I believe it's our first webinar, so thank you for being here with us. Let me share my screen with you. One moment, please. Here I go. So the topic of our discussion would be, talking about being overachiever and how it can lead to burnouts, and what we can do to prevent it. But, I just wanted to get to know our audience better. And I can see we have several people here already. And it would be really nice if you can share, what do you do? Why you're here? Like, have you ever experienced burnout? Just to get to know you better and to know how we can help you during this webinar. It will be really nice of you. Yeah, I can see people are starting joining and doing some comments. Thank you again for this. And while we're waiting for your comments regarding your goals for this webinar, let me introduce our two amazing speakers, Dennis and Dr. Mahmoud. So Dennis is the CEO and founder of Life Most, and actually he is a scientist, but it's hard to tell, but he has a background in science research and healthcare management, and over 10 years of experience in IT entrepreneurship, around digital health and well-being, and over 2 million patients covered under the policy. And also he has been an entrepreneur of a year by Ernst & Young in 2019 in a healthcare segment. Everything correct, Dennis? I'm not missing anything?
You're right on point, yes.
Okay. Okay, great. And now let me present our Dr. Mahmoud. He also be taking the topic of discussion from the medical perspective, and Dennis will be talking about more his own experience. Dr. Mahmoud has experienced more than 8 years in as a general practitioner and also as a surgeon. And he believes that preventive medicine, is the best kind of health treatment, and especially, the lifestyle changes. And, he's committed to diving into research and sharing, the most efficient life hacks, what you can do. Dr. Mahmoud, would you like something to add, or everything correct so far, right?
Everything correct so far, yeah.
Okay, great. Let me check the comments here, what our audience are actually doing, so you would know how to present better. Yes, so Stefania, she's in sales and she absolutely did experience burnout. I see here Arthur, he works in marketing for years and faced burnout only once. Well, he is a lucky guy. Yeah, but it has become a huge problem for him and that he couldn't solve. And Mohammed mentioned that is going to be a valuable insights, into managing, being chronic overachiever. Yeah, I can see Hafiz now is from IT and he also has faced burnout and would love to learn more. And we have Damir from consultancy, and also, has this. So as I can see from the chat, everybody has experienced burnout, and that's good. And it means that we can help, So Dennis, please start your presentation. I'll stop my translation so you can turn on your slides and share your story. And I'll put myself on mute. Dennis, give it.
Okay, thanks, Marina. Okay, so we got it. Welcome everyone. So we're trying to keep it short and precise. And the topic is, I think, become major headliner starting from 2020. So burnouts were kind of a back burner prior to pandemic, but when everything hit us with the unexpected slowdown, and then shifting our work-life balance from offline to kind of blurring with the digital, I think this topic has started becoming a mainstream, and more and more people come to the point of life, then they face the burnout. And this topic is important for a number of reasons. I mean, it's impacting not only your work life, but it has an impact on your social, family, and emotional state. And my personal story that I want to share started roughly 10 years ago, when I was slowly was getting into the business of running the IT company. But let me kind of give the common portrait of overachiever. We all think we're different in a way, but we're very common. And overachievers, they share the same quality. We constantly striving for the best. We're never satisfied. We always push the bar higher. We go for the new achievements, and we compete. So we compete for in social and in the work life, for jobs, for status, for acceptance, for money, and this path, it's leads, from my personal belief, I think it leads to nowhere when you're trying to compete constantly without pushing the bar, because sooner or later your body is gonna give up. And overachievers, so as overachievers, and I'm considering myself as being one, or used to be one. We all sooner or later all expect stress, which results in the problems with the emotional state, with the health problems, and I would say there is nothing wrong with achieving, looking for goals. And who doesn't like to achieve goals? The accomplishment, it's a source of energy. It's a source of strength. It's it put us in a drive states. But over time, a drive to excel creates the imbalance. It creates it brings us to the point when we neglect other parts of our life, family, health. It impacts a moral state and performance, and it creates the vacuum. Sooner or later, it creates the vacuum, so it's never become enough. And what happened to me, I used to be one of them. And as I mentioned, I started doing the IT, running IT companies 10 years ago. And at the same time, I started running marathons. And it was a fun activity to get ready for a marathon, to do it once a year. You enjoy the process. You kind of go out with a group of friends to train, and then you do a race once a year. And it's really fun. You get the medal. You put the medal on the wall, and you can actually tell the stories to a friend. How was the race? But over time, it became not enough. I would say the dopamine levels I was looking for to get more dopamine levels. And I started increasing my activity in terms of fitness, started to push the goals higher. And from 1 marathon per year, I gradually went up to 3. I started doing long distance open water races, trail runs, and so forth. And I never really, I don't remember the point when I stopped enjoying the process. I mean, the goal was to get the race, to get the best result. I wasn't enjoying the process that much. I mean, this is pretty painful if you train every day and train as endurance athletes. It become more like job that you don't like. And in a way, I think I became the hostage of the social acceptance when everyone look at you as a social, well, as an entrepreneur, and the one who's portrayed as a person who's pushing the bars and striving to get more and more medals. And this social acceptance put the pressure on you, and you don't want to slow down. And this creates this phenomena when you become a hostage of your own achievements. And 2020 really changed it all. So it's like taking a sports car and putting it into garage and letting it drive just on a driveway. And it's all of a sudden, all those external drive, the dopamine and endorphin rush disappeared, and I was left alone without any with any pillars to rely on. And all of a sudden, all the drive that kind of vanished, and the sense of accomplishment wasn't there. And in addition, on top of that, all the excessive training over previous years started to pile up as a health problems. And what I was trying to get back on track, it didn't work for me. I had a knee injury, which completely slowed me down. It put me to the stop. And as quite often happens in your lowest point in life, you discover something new. You discover the new path, and that's pretty much happened to me. It was a time to take a step back and to reflect. What's that push for achievements, the constant run in fitness, but it really reflected my way of living in terms of running the business as well. So I was never satisfied with my own goals. That the bar was pushed all the time. And when, due to the injury, I was slowed down, it really gave me the time to kind of think, am I really in this race for whole my life? Is that my only sense and drive of achievement? And I slowly started to look for something more balanced. Instead of pushing myself as an athlete, I started to kind of embedding daily routines, which helped me to get back in a really good shape. I think as after 2020, I probably designed my way of exercising in a way that I'm in the best shape that I was ever before. And it helped me also to balance my personal life, the work life, and this reflects, the overachievements as me as the person who runs the company, as all my mindset, and also reflected in my teams before, and the employees, the team members, they all face the same issue as me as the person who's running the marathons. Everyone is getting burned out by unachievable goals, by the constant push to be better, constant push to get more results. And as I mentioned before, it's nothing wrong with those results, with the goals, but they have to be in a way achievable. They have to be part of an ongoing process, which I think best described as major football players play. If you take as an example Messi, he plays his game, which he's one of the best players right now. He plays his game not constantly running up, up on the field, but he takes this time to assess the game. Then sometimes he walks, he doesn't run, and then only when he needs to burst and give his 100%, then he goes all the way in. And this kind of, I think, the way of organizing the social and social work life, and even the athlete goals became my new way of living. So it's moderate activity with a certain goals that we push. Is that? Only when we push, when we need them, to be excessive. And we get stuck. Let me get that. Okay. Okay, I'm back. No, we're not. Okay. So going back to them.
Dennis, can you turn on your slides, please? I think we don't see them yet.
Back. Is it back?
No.
1 sec. Okay.
Yeah, now we can see.
All right.
Thank you. Okay, so coming back to the strategy of Messi, so you cannot just play your game running the field on the field all the time. I think the small steps when you're actually playing your game, assessing what's going on around you, and making you plan the decisions according to your strategy slowly. And when it's needed, you burst and give your 100%. That's more effective in terms of you still achieve the goals, but at the same time you don't fall victim of being in a loop of running all the time. And I think most importantly, this mindset, it starts with a few things. First, the goals are important, but the process itself is important as well. Celebrating the process, finding the joy, and finding the accomplishments in the process itself. I think that's the first step how to get rid of a burnout. So setting up the goals in the long term and just moving along the process and celebrating even the small accomplishments, I think it creates more sense and brings the back joy of, in my case, in the process of training for marathons, just not just to getting a medal, but because you dedicate more time to training than to the actual marathon. And finding that balance, going back to and enjoying the process is much more brings much more joy. Role of the leadership, I think it's crucial. It's crucial in terms of everything starts from the top, the corporate culture, and it cannot change if someone in charge is constantly setting up the race to be better, greater, without understanding that it's going to create the chaos along the way.
and eventually every team member will face the burnout. And sometimes to get out of that loop, out of burnout, only way is to completely change, to shift your work, and it leads to the people quitting the jobs. And the way I think the management should work with the teams in explaining the goals, explaining what's important, and why the certain goals are set, and giving a time frame when those goals should be achieved. So there's a kind of the line in front of a team, how much they have to overperform, and that explains, it gives the vision of what we as a team can do together for a certain period of time, and then that we're gonna enjoy our success together, not constantly jumping on the next target. And the tools and the small kind of daily routines, I think that's crucial for unwinding, to find the time to stop and to care of your mind and body is super important in our interconnected society. So the lines between work and life is really blurred. So we constantly engaged in texting, messaging, emails, phone calls, and the line between work and life is really blurred. And finding that me time, finding the personal time to either do some yoga or meditation, breath work, going out for a run, and only dedicated time only for myself, and not just achieving some goal of around the 3-5 marathons per year, but enjoying the process. I think this is crucial. Number of studies, as Marina mentioned, my science background still haunting me even till these days. Number of studies that are coming out of different research institutions, they all confirm that mind and body interconnected. And one of the best ways to take care of your mind is actually let your body do the work, physical work, and it's gonna be beneficial for your physical and mental state. And that's kind of my biggest, I guess, change in the past the few years. So I celebrate the process. I celebrate the daily routine. I celebrate the daily movement versus some goals which I set myself. And sometimes I set even this goal not being, not to enjoy the process, but being celebrated by society. And I think that's my biggest takeaway, to get rid of it. And this is my path. And this path not only takes me on my personal journey, but also the product that we create, the philosophy that stands behind our service also celebrates the culture of baby steps, of small steps, and the daily routine. And I advise everyone to find your own small step daily routine. It's going to benefit you dramatically. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dennis, for your speech. And we have a comment from Raquel. She said that the problem is that we don't realize until we hit the wall. And some environments and the societies just don't support this type of awareness. It is true.
It's very common that it's not only society, but it's in many cases even our closest allies, families, they also expect from us to deliver. They the parents, the wives, husbands, they quite often expect us to overperform and to deliver. And at the end of the day, it comes down to your, what are you willing to give up? Because when you look at the success story, you see the nice picture. You see the picture of the guy with a medal. You see the guy on top. You see the guy with an award, but you don't see this. No one shows this. No one sees sacrifices. No one sees the tough decisions that the person has to make in order to achieve those goals. And I think it takes a support from like-minded people to find the courage to say no. In many cases, to say no to that social pressure, and it takes also in the company's willingness from a leadership. I think that's the goal of, also the objective to work with the leadership to explain that overachievement is gonna on the long term will do more harm that will bring more good. So it's I think that's the way to care for long term.
Thank you, Dennis, so much. Regarding like harm and what's gonna be better for your body, I think Dr. Mahmoud will also have something to say. So please share your experience with us.
Definitely. Hello, I'm Dr. Mahmoud. I'm a medical manager at Value. I'm a general practitioner. As Dennis said, there's a lot of issues related to being an overachiever, trying to reach that goal that you put in front of you. And there are a lot of pressure, not only from yourself, it's from everyone around you. One of the most common health effects of being an overachiever is the stress levels, because you're pressuring yourself. You think that the social boundaries around the peer pressure around you causes you that stress, but usually it's caused by mainly you and your pursuit of that goal. Emotional, physical, and mental exhaustion, these are really common. Higher stress and increased risk of chronic diseases. It's a known fact that high stress levels would lead to diseases like blood pressure, higher blood pressure, high cholesterol levels, leading also to heart disease. The main cause of that is chronic stress can cause high cortisol levels, constant increase in cortisol levels. Usually cortisol levels are increased during the morning and they fluctuate during the whole day. But in people with chronic stress, they suffer from constant high levels of cortisol, which of course, as we said, cause a number of health problems like high blood sugar, high blood pressure, high cholesterol levels, and as I said, it usually leads to heart disease. Also, high cortisol level can cause weak immune system. The other mental aspect of chronic stress or high stress levels is the isolation, the loneliness, the social anxiety, depression, impaired sleep and insomnia, which Dennis also talked about during his experience as an overachiever. And sometimes the addiction, says here, increased risk of addiction as a coping mechanism. Addiction is not always with substance abuse, it's sometimes as behavioral. As Dennis said, running around behind, trying to reach that gold medal or trying to reach that cup is considered an addiction, a behavioral addiction. We always try to teach people or to train people on different ways to manage stress, but we always say that you should stay away from stress as much as possible. But the problem is stress will always be there. It's how we manage it is the key to all this. I'm going to share just a couple of studies or statistics about stress and burnout. The American Institute of Stress study. One of the American Institute of Stress studies showed that 83 of workers in the United States suffer from work-related stress. And stress costs businesses around 300 billion a year, and turnovers, decreased productivity, increased medical expenses, and of course, work-related stress increases the risk of depression and anxiety by 70%. WHO classified burnout as occupational phenomena. It's considered a disease. It's not considered like something that we can just easily talk about. It's a disease. So also the American Psychiatric Association talked about the stress that is on employees, which is 79% of employees in our generation is suffering from burnout. And to achieve a better lifestyle, to achieve a low stress lifestyle, it's not always about running after your goals. It's not always about running after making your employer happy. You need to just prioritize yourself, prioritize self-care, and taking care of yourself is crucial really for managing stress and burnout. This includes getting enough sleep, eating healthy diets, exercising regularly, and engaging in activities that you enjoy, going out with the family, going out for a run with your pet. I always encourage my client to practice stress management techniques. Like I said, stress will always be there. It's just how you manage it is what matters. Sorry. Relaxation techniques like breathing exercises. You can do that while sitting in the office at your desk. Breathing exercises, meditation, yoga can help reduce stress. Of course, exercises. Physical exercises can really play a huge role because, as it's known, physical exercise can increase your endorphin level, which is the happiness hormone. And it can help you lowering your stress levels. In a workplace, you really need to set boundaries. As Dennis said, you really need to learn when to say no, how to say no. Because at the end of the day, you're doing what you can, and you're doing your best, but you don't really need to burn yourself out for it. At the end of the day, you're going home with that, so just set boundaries. Of course, seeking support, talking to friends, family members, mental health professionals can really help manage stress levels and prevent burnout. There are a lot of support groups now. A lot of companies, they really trying to help their employees with coming up with support groups within their teams to assist each other's psychological help and mental health. And these would really be helpful in a lot of situations. What else? Of course, managing workload. A lot of people, I think, they just want to get things done. They don't really think about that trying to get things done can really add on to your stress, can really cause burnout. Take your time off. It's your right. It's something that it has to be provided by your company, so by your employer, so you have to take your break. Manage the workload. It's the same point as saying no. You just say that I can't do that. I can't, I need someone to help me out with that. Learn also how to prioritize your tasks so that you can prevent burnout. I think a lot of people who are watching now and joining our webinar, they know what we're talking about. They feel what we're talking about, that we can't help but push ourselves, just work too much to appease ourselves, to just feel good about what we're doing. But sometimes that really leads to bad physical and mental effects. Practice mindfulness, and it's one of the really easy things that you can do. Just it means that you need to enjoy life, enjoy what's happening around you. Look at the greens, eat better, enjoy your family, enjoy your friends. These things really can uplift your spirits. And of course, bond with your pets. Pets are always supportive. They are always there for you. They never complain. They only want to give love and take love. That's it. And of course, the employer, and the HR can need to play a huge role in reducing burnout on employees, especially HR, because they have the power to do that. They can play a huge role in reducing burnout by implementing some strategies and programs to support employees' well-being. Some of the ways that employees and HR can help, or HR can help, is promoting work-life balance by encouraging employees to take breaks during the workday, and promote policies that support flexible working arrangements, such as working remotely, and better schedules or more flexible schedules. They can also offer employee support programs, as we discussed before. A lot of companies are doing so. It really helps when someone sees other people that are suffering from the same thing they are suffering with. Sometimes we need someone to talk to that have the same problem. Would make it easier for us to manage these problems. So it's really good to find a way to offer these support programs for your employees. Making employees really interested or gain interest again in the work they are doing by providing training and development programs. You can offer opportunities for skill building, career development. People feel encouraged when they do that. It also gives a way out of the routine that they currently live in. You can, as an HR, monitor the workload, ensure that everyone is not overworked or overstressed, by regularly checking on workloads. And of course, encourage your employees to self-care, promote healthy behavior, and encourage employees to prioritize their own self before anything else. So by providing breaks, outings, engaging in stress-reducing activities during work time. And it's almost always about cortisol levels and how cortisol levels affect your body. Overachieving, as we said, as Dana said, it's a really good thing. Sometimes you look at it in an envious way, or you can admire it, but it's all on you. It's all on the effect it has on you. So always watch your stress levels. Always know what's good for you. Always know, follow your goals, but in a really easier or healthier manner. At Value, of course, what we always try to promote for is the health and wellness of that you can make out of. We promote mainly for preventative medicine. We promote mainly for preventative way to keep yourself safe from any health problems. And we do that by providing, of course, blood testing and supplements, really good kind of supplements, high-tech supplements, And of course, a lot of people who, especially after COVID, started just taking supplements without knowing why I'm taking supplements, why is it happening? And noting that, by the way, a lot of deficiencies can cause higher stress levels. So it's really good to know what kind of deficiency you have. It's really good to know what kind of vitamins and minerals you need to just try to balance this kind of stress. And of course, as a gift of our cooperation with LifeMost, we are offering a 20% off using coupon code LM20 on blood tests and supplements. I really loved this talk. I really enjoyed Dennis's journey. It was really eye-opening on one of the really rare things that we see. He mentioned that being an overachiever, we only see the medals, we only see the talks, we never see the injuries, the pain, the suffering that sometimes it causes. Thank you, Dennis, for sharing that, and thank you for making it more clear for people that it's not always sunshine and rainbows.
Thank you, Dr. Mahmoud, for your speech. I think we can follow right now our Q&A session because we have several questions for you and for Dennis as well. So I start from the end. Are there any strategies how to approach leaders and HRs? I think maybe it's also for question for Dennis as well. Like, what approach would work for you, Dennis, coming from your team members?
That's a good one. So I think the best way to approach HR or management is to set like we have a lot of discussions with the different management teams and as well as HR professionals, and it seems like everyone is asking for. We have discussions about setting up well-being programs in place, and it seems like a very common trend. It's how to measure impact of well-being programs, and I think one of the ways to start approaching HR professionals and management team to kind of to be the leader of internal team and come up with the goals with a proposal. I mean, no one likes. I mean, it's hard to take initiative. Is really tough to take any lead, to take any initiative. Requires a personal responsibility. It puts pressure in terms of efforts. But in order to change, if you want to take into your own hands, kind of work-life balance and the whole well-being, case of being implemented into work, I think it makes sense to step up and come up with the initiative and propose something with the measurable results. That HR professionals and the management can see, can check over time. They can see the impact. So anything you can measure that I think brings a transparency and explains how it's going to make an impact on the long term. So I would say there is no shortcut if you're facing right now hostile work environment. It's only way to step up and come up with your own playing game, and the playing game has to be very transparent, and it has to include the measurable results. It can be anything, but comes down to the specific case. But I think those two things are very important.
Thank you, Dennis. And I believe I have a question for Dr. Mahmoud. Could you please call a few anti-stress techniques which can a person use during the work?
During the work, as we said, one of the best techniques is breathing exercises, just taking a deep breath. We usually say taking a deep breath from your nose, count 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, keep it in, let it out, only even slower, so that you can just feel like you're controlling your heart rate, feel like you're controlling your breath. You're also giving your brain, your body more oxygen in that process. Also, just walking around the office. It's okay to go for a walk. It's okay to just move your body a bit. Whenever you feel stressed, they always say, if you feel really angry, just count to 10 before doing something. If you feel the stress levels are increasing, just leave everything you have, leave everything you're doing, and just move away, walk away for a bit, and then come back. You'll find yourself more fresh. You'll find you're more open to that work you were doing. You might even come up with solutions that you wouldn't have thought of during that stressful time. Neck exercises, trying to relax your muscles as much as you can. Stretches would really help also. It also would help not drinking too much caffeine. Hydrating, of course, better would really help out. But I would say, yeah, breathing is really the best kind of treatment, because just close your eyes, breathe, cut
Thank you.
yourself off. That's it.
I could actually add a little bit more on that. I got my
Please,
own.
Dennis.
I kind of got my own hack that I got from. There is a podcast that I really love. It's run by neurobiologist Dr. Huberman, and it gives a lot of insights on how everything is impacted from physiology standpoint. And one of the practices, like the breathing, works perfectly. I mean, the breath work is amazing. It seems to be very achievable in terms of taking it and implementing in a daily life. And for some reason, we're not utilizing the breath work to the extent that we should. And one of the most effective breathing technique that he describes, I think it's called cyclic sighing. It involves one inhale followed by the short snap, like second inhale. So you do full inhale through nose with the second a snap to overfill the lungs through nose, and exhale through the mouth. 10 to 12 have a tendency to break down the stress dramatically. It's very disposable. Everyone can use it. Anything that you face, anxiety, anything stressful coming up as a webinar, and you do 10 to 12 for those breaths, and really calms you down, calms your nervous system. And it's not only coming from breath work instructors, but the neurobiologists, they all advocate that the breath work is an amazing tool for there for our disposal. And it really makes a big impact, how it impacts the nervous system and impacts our emotional state. So one of the tools, is there.
Yeah, thank you, Nat. I think everybody who was listening tried to do the same thing with you. Actually, I was doing myself a quick meditation before the webinar, just to come down a little bit. And we have another question. And I feel the situation can be common in big cities. What if the employer isn't taking care of employees' emotional well-being and everything around is toxic? What employees can do? In the end, we are afraid to lose the jobs also. Are there any suggestions? Because of course, person can try to take days off, and try to work out. But if the working hours are 15 hours a day, that employer supports, what, like, maybe you have, Dennis or Dr. Mahmoud, any suggestions in this circumstances for a person?
Yeah, I think Dr. Mahmoud mentioned that yes, we do have the goals, the work goals, and but at the end of the day, if you're lying on a hospital bed, no one matters. So if you're like working and serving the goals of overachievers, and at the end of the day, if you don't have the consent and understanding that you still need to let people unwind, and if this is a hostile work environment, sooner or later, I think it's going to impact either your personal life, social life, family life, or physical health, or both. And I think you can manage it by implementing the different tools. You can start exercising excessively, but it's just a kind of putting a bandage on a wound. And sooner or later, the infection still will spread. And I would say the best resource is either if the well-being initiatives cannot be implemented, to look for another place, because no one's going to care for you if you put on a hospital bed. So it's your health, I think, that comes first.
Exactly, I would really agree. From a personal experience, the first job I worked there for almost 4 years, and it really took a huge toll on me. It was a really toxic environment. The employers, they don't take any points in granted. They took their employees for granted. It was a really stressful time, and when I reached a level that I started noticing my health is being affected, my physical and mental health were being affected by that. I took the decision to it's not worth it. Everyone disposable, everyone is replaceable. So if I left, they wouldn't care. If I died, they wouldn't care, as Dennis said. So I just resigned, and thankfully after a week I just found a new opportunity, a better opportunity, with people who really appreciated what we were doing, what I was trying to do. They really appreciate the work we were doing, how much you give, they give back. So that's don't wait for someone to just acknowledge you. If someone takes you for granted, if your employer is taking you for granted, just let it be, let it go. You find something better. The universe will find you something better.
Thank you so much. Yeah, just to keep in mind that there is also always a way, always a solution in your situation. And let's take the final question. Can you suggest tools which help you measure burnout, stress levels, etc.?
There's a lot of tools that you can measure your stress levels and burnouts. First of all, it really depends on you. The changes that you can the changes that you can note that's happening to you. Also, blood testing. Testing cortisol levels can really show, of course, there's a debate on which is better, cortisol, salivary cortisol, or blood serum cortisol, and both, they work fine. Also, you can other blood tests, your hormones, thyroid hormones, your male and female hormones can really be affected by stress levels. Of course, blood sugar levels are extremely affected by stress levels. Every metabolic, I would say every metabolic, every biomarker that's related to metabolism will be affected, like lipid profile, cholesterol profile, and kidney functions. Blood sugar levels, yeah, these would really give a good idea on what's happening because of stress.
Thank you so much, Dr. Mahmoud and Dennis, for your advice. And the people are also saying the same in the chat. So it's not just my thank you to you, it's like in general from our audience. Let me share a little bit about Life Most. And after that, we'll share like what offers so we can give. And also we're gonna do a small giveaway. Let me show my screen first. One moment. Yes, so basically Life Most is a corporate well-being platform for physical and mental health. And we talked today a lot, what you can do in a daily basis, like what small steps we can do. And actually through Life Most, you can do the small steps, you can do a meditation class through a membership. It can be online or offline because through our program, there is a membership to 100 plus fitness and wellness venues in Dubai and also Abu Dhabi. There are 250 online classes for mindfulness and movement, team building events, and expert lectures and webinars. And, through this platform, it's easy for employees, to find the solution for them that would work for them exactly, because we're all individuals, and for someone is breath work, for another one it's like sound healing sessions. And through this membership, when you give so much of options, each person can choose something for themselves. And we also add their engagement tools to make sure that people get motivated to take care of their health, because sometimes it can be hard for your employees, to do the first step to starting care for themselves. And we can see it from the chat, that people say what we can do, how we can start it. And we actually do help the employees do this first step, and we provide also analytics and insights on this. And we do created a special offer for the teams. We do provide for those people who are today on the webinar a trial for your employees. Through this trial, they can book any from 1 to 2 offline activities in Dubai. And they can do this, first steps already. So if you are interested, if you are a leader of a team or if you are HR, please contact us through our website today. It's lifemost.ie, and fill up the form on the website and mention to the manager that will contact you that you were listening to this webinar carefully, and we will do provide a trial for your teams, just you can see how the platform works. No pressure here. And for other people here that are listening, that are not ready to start doing it for their team, but just want to do something for themselves, we do provide 199 dirham as a gift inside our app for those people who are sitting here during the webinar. There should be a link somewhere. Yeah, I can see there is a link, so it's good. So there is a button downstairs, get 129 ayat. Just follow the link, download the app, and you will get 129 dirham for free. And usually it's enough to book a meditation class, yoga, stretching, or some high intensity training if you're up for this. I think I've said the most things, but let me check. Oh, no, I remember. So the last and the most fun thing, I have this idea to do a giveaway, and I want to give several gift certificates for a higher price. I can see there are people sitting here in the chat, so we have someone to give it to. At least it's good. So how we can do it? If you want to participate in this giveaway, please put a message plus in the chat. I will know that you want to participate in this giveaway. And each person, if you put the plus first, you will be number 1. If you will be the second one to put the plus, you will be number 2. And I would use a randomizer that will just tell me who will be the winner. Let's wait for people. Look, if you don't want to win a bigger certificate, you can put minus. Yeah, let's just wait for people to do a reaction. And while people are putting the reactions, I remembered another question. I think it was more for you, Dennis, because you were talking about small steps. You know, what small steps can you implement? There could be like 1,000, but maybe if you can do like mention like 3 small steps that you would recommend do today or like till the end of the week.
Okay. I would say from my personal routine, I would say in the morning. So what I do breath work to start. Small steps to get really back to physical health. I think, well, which has impact on emotional state as well. 3 things to get your day started right. You can do first, get exposure to the sunlight as early as possible. It actually brings, it helps to bring the dopamine level up. So exposure to the sunlight as early as possible. The second one, I do, well, for the most of the days, I do breath work in the morning. Even a few minutes has impact over the long term. And also I do stretching. So more or less, it takes me like, 25, 30 minutes every morning. And I think that's the time you can definitely find in your routine. Stretching, especially working stretching not only body, but also with the balls, you massage the feet. It releases the tension. Roll up, you can start with a tennis ball and roll up your feet up and down, put the pressure on tight spots. And it's just amazing. It just feels amazing. So breath work, sunlight, and stretching, especially stretching your feet, that works for me.
Thank you. And Dr. Mahmoud, what will be your 3 things that a person from this webinar can just do straight away or during the week at least?
I would agree with Dennis. First thing, breathing. Looking around, breathing, lower your caffeine intake. There's a lot of substitutes for coffee that you can use, like dandelion coffee, dandelion roots coffee, and date coffee. Also, I would suggest massage, physiotherapy, meditation, yoga. These things, they help release the tension out of muscles. They help release the stress out of the muscles. So it would really be beneficial to do that on a weekly basis. I would really agree with that. The balls on the feet, Dennis, I really agree with those. These are the best kind of stress release for me. And yeah, I really enjoy those.
Yeah, I guess we didn't agree about the advertisement of the tennis balls, but it's really like to start in the morning.
I have it with me actually.
Yeah, it's there are specific balls as well. They can use, like, now it's getting more complicated, and you can find a lot of companies advertising not just the balls but the pads with it.
Yeah, exactly. Yes.
As simple as a tennis ball, just amazing.
Exactly.
Yeah,
yes.
I agree. So I can see here that we got 11 participants in our giveaway, and we have, I think, a couple more questions about the Life Most in general, like how we can track the effectiveness of our program. So first of all, we can track how many people are actually using the program, what activities they've been using, and how active they are. Also, we track the feedback from the team members anonymously, of course, like what they want to change and how happy are they with the program in general, that we can provide. And also the question, how do you think that that would work? The program will work for small team members. Actually, the membership to Life Most would work to any size teams. It doesn't matter. And I usually, we take care of people engaging into the program, no matter how big the team is. So it will work for anyone. Okay, so I can see that we have 11 participants. Let me enter the data here. I will give, let me check. Okay, there will be 2 gifts for 250 dirham. And let's check who these 2 people would be. So let's generate the first one. Okay, it's number 1. I believe the first comment was made by Mohammed Al-Balushi. I hope, I'm not sure I pronounced the name right, but sorry for that. Please, Mohammed, contact me on LinkedIn. I'm on the page of the organizers and participants of the event on LinkedIn. And let's generate the second lucky guy today, or a girl. And it's gonna be number 11. I believe it was the last person. Hafiz, if I'm pronouncing the name right, is also the winner. Please find me on LinkedIn and send me hi. My name is Marina Kolosova, and yeah. Congratulations, you won 250 dirham inside the app that you can use. For 250, you can book at least 3 classes, I think, and or meditation. So you will have the less risk of burning out the closest period. Yeah, let me stop my translation. Thank you so much for being here with us, and where you can find us on LinkedIn and ask any questions. And yeah, I guess that's it. Maybe Dennis or Dr. Mahmoud have something to say, a couple last words.
I would say if someone is looking for you, maybe you can write in the chat or send a link to your LinkedIn.
Yeah, I'll do it. I'll do it straight away.
Dr. Mahmoud, any closing remarks from your side?
Thank you for this lovely chance to join you in this really informative webinar. I really enjoyed it, of course, and I hope who attended really learned some valuable information from this. And yeah, everyone should learn that it's only only you that matters, only your own health that matters, nothing matters than that. So it was really lovely joining you.
Thank you for your insights, effort, and inspiration. It's you know, it takes proactive personal effort to move this forward, because no one's gonna care unless we do. And you know, I like this saying, but probably on my side, the closing remark from Stoic, that's the Greek philosophers, which is, I think, as trendy today as they used to be 2000 years ago. And one of the fathers of Stoicism, Seneca, he said that the body should be treated rigorously, that it might not be disobedient to the mind. And I think that's such a great quote. So take care of your body, it impacts your emotional state and how you look, how you perceive life. So taking care of your body, it's just an essential part of a life that we should all follow. So either it's a preventive care, looking at your biomarkers, looking at your biochemistry, or treating yourself as a daily routine, doing yoga, meditation, CrossFit, or you name it.
Exactly.
It's to be part of a life.
Exactly.
Okay.
Okay, I believe that's it for today. I would ask our assistant Anne to stop the live recording. I'm not sure how to do it myself, so let's a couple awkward moments until it stops. Yeah, but
thank you so much, everyone.
Yeah,
Thank you so much.
Bye-bye. Have a good day today. Bye-bye.
Good day.
Bye.
Okay, bye everyone.